Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here, and also the biggest national shocks like today's story. So remember to subscribe for the latest videos. Today's story isn't about a celebrity walking a red carpet or a blockbuster movie. It's about something far more gripping. A real-life courtroom drama that's sending shockwaves across the nation. The arrest of Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Duggan by the FBI has ignited a wildfire of outrage, political division, and fear about the future of American democracy. It all started on an ordinary day at the Milwaukee courthouse, a day that would end up anything but ordinary. Judge Duggan, known for her background in public service and her history of legal aid work, suddenly found herself the focus of a federal investigation. The accusation that she had helped an undocumented immigrant, Eduardo Flores Ruiz, accused of battery and domestic abuse, evade the grasp of immigration and customs enforcement agents who were waiting to arrest him. According to reports, Duggan allegedly instructed Flores Ruiz and his attorney to slip away through a jury room door, leading to a temporary escape that set off alarms at the highest levels of government. He was eventually apprehended nearby, but the damage, politically and symbolically, had already been done. The FBI, under the leadership of Trump-aligned director Kash Patel, wasted no time. A week later, in a stunning and unprecedented move, Judge Duggan was arrested, an action hailed by many conservatives as a victory against what they see as rampant judicial activism. The symbolism could not have been more potent. A federal agency hauling away a sitting judge, sparking comparisons to authoritarian crackdowns in countries Americans are used to criticizing. The arrest was more than just a local incident. It ripped open the already gaping wounds of America's political divide. Supporters of former President Donald Trump celebrated wildly online, calling it long overdue justice. They accused judges across the country of coddling criminals and undermining immigration enforcement, using Duggan's arrest as a rallying cry to push for even harsher crackdowns. Hashtags like "traitor judges" and "justice served" began trending within hours. Meanwhile, Democrats, civil rights advocates, and even some nonpartisan legal scholars recoiled in horror. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers called the arrest an assault on the independence of the judiciary, warning that it set a terrifying precedent for the politicization of federal law enforcement. Senator Tammy Baldwin issued a statement denouncing the move as a clear attempt to intimidate the courts. And organizations like the American Civil Liberties Union blasted the arrest as a sign that America was barreling toward authoritarianism. Behind the political rhetoric lies a deeply human story, that of Hannah Duggan herself. Duggan, who has served on the bench since 2016, built a reputation as a compassionate, fair-minded judge with an unwavering belief in the rule of law and access to justice for all, particularly for society's most vulnerable. She had once been a lawyer for the poor, working tirelessly to ensure that even those with no means received a fair shake in court. For her, the courtroom wasn't just a place of punishment. It was supposed to be a place of hope, fairness, and second chances. Yet now, she finds herself accused of crossing a dangerous line, one between compassion and defiance of federal law. In her initial court appearance, Duggan appeared composed but emotional. She was released pending her next hearing set for May 15, but the media frenzy surrounding her case has made anonymity impossible. Overnight, she has gone from a respected local judge to a national lightning rod. Her defenders argue that she was simply acting within her discretion to ensure that Flores Ruiz received a fair legal process. free from the fear of sudden deportation before his state charges were adjudicated. Her critics, however, see her actions as blatant obstruction of justice, a reckless endangerment of the rule of law that cannot be tolerated, no matter how noble her intentions. The story is reverberating far beyond Wisconsin. Across the nation, judges, lawyers, and immigrants' rights groups are grappling with the implications. Will this case open the floodgates for political retribution against judges deemed too liberal or too independent? Will it lead to a chilling effect where judges fear to exercise discretion out of concern for their own freedom? Or will it embolden a new generation of judges to stand firm against what they see as creeping authoritarianism? Meanwhile, Flores Ruiz remains at the center of the storm, though many have lost sight of him amid the political fireworks. His case, the original battery and domestic abuse charges, has been largely overshadowed by the political battle. His temporary escape ignited. Some conservative media outlets have used his immigration status and criminal charges as proof of the dangers posed by sanctuary policies and judicial leniency. Liberal commentators, meanwhile, point out that due process is a cornerstone of American justice, and that everyone, regardless of immigration status, deserves their day in court. In the background looms the figure of FBI Director Kash Patel, a former Trump loyalist who was appointed under a second Trump administration and who has aggressively pushed a hardline agenda against what he calls rogue elements within the judiciary and federal bureaucracy. Patel's involvement in the arrest of Dugin is seen by many as a test case, a way of sending a message to judges nationwide. Step out of line and you could be next. Whether you see Patel as a defender of law and order or a dangerous authoritarian depends largely on your political perspective, but there's no denying the stakes involved. In many ways, the arrest of Judge Hannah Dugin is about much more than one immigrant, one judge, or one courthouse. It's about the soul of American justice, about what kind of country we are and what kind of country we are becoming. Will compassion be criminalized? Will discretion be redefined as obstruction? Or will America find a way to balance enforcement with humanity, the letter of the law with its spirit? These are the burning questions now igniting debate in courtrooms, classrooms, newsrooms, and living rooms across the nation. As the May 15th hearing approaches, the nation will be watching closely, not just to see what happens to Hannah Dugin, but to see what happens to the very concept of judicial independence. Every gavel strike, every legal motion, every statement made inside and outside the courtroom will be scrutinized through the harsh, unforgiving lens of America's deepening political divide. For Judge Dugin, the personal cost is already enormous. Her career, her reputation, and perhaps even her freedom hang in the balance. For America, the cost could be even greater. A step further down a path where judges become political pawns, law enforcement becomes a tool of partisan revenge, and the very ideals that define the nation are put at risk. Whatever happens next, one thing is clear: this story is far from over, and its consequences will be felt long after the final verdict is rendered. Stay tuned to Daily Gossip for all the latest updates on this unfolding national drama. Subscribe now and don't miss a moment of the twists and turns ahead. Because in today's America, the line between law and politics is thinner and more dangerous than ever before.